Now let us go to visual diagnosis of the throat. The topic is pathological changes, part 2. The pharynx is distinct from the larynx. The pharynx is divided into 3 parts: the nasopharynx, above the palatal plane, back of the nasal cavity, and the oropharynx, extending from the oral cavity and soft palate, under the palatal plane on the superior border of the pharynx. The laryngopharynx, also called laryngeal pharynx, under the oropharynx in front, it connects to the laryngeal cavity, and the inferior part connects to the esophagus. The soft palate extends downwards and forms 2 layers of mucous membrane, respectively called the anterior palatine arch and posterior palatine arch. The tonsils are located in the gap which is located between the palatine arches. The rear of the posterior palatine arch is called the posterior wall of the pharynx. The larynx is located under the laryngopharynx and connects to the windpipe. The throat is the passage of the laryngopharynx and connects to the windpipe. The throat is the passage of the lung and stomach and the passageway of breathing and eating. The kidney channel also connects with the throat. Therefore, by inspection of the throat, one may understand the pathological changes of the lung, stomach, and kidney. A normal throat is light red, moist, not painful, no swelling, has unobstructed breathing, normal pronunciation, and smooth swallowing. For red and swollen throat, if it is deep red with obvious swelling and pain, that is extreme heat. If it's tender red with mild swelling and pain, that's deficiency of kidney yin and deficient fire flaming upward. If the throat is pale red with diffuse swelling, that's a collection of phlegm damp. If one or both sides of the throat are red, swollen, and painful, accompanied by yellow-white purulent spots which are easily cleaned off, that's tonsillitis, tonsillitis mostly caused by extreme heat of the lung and stomach, stemming by fire toxin. If the throat is red, swollen with abnormal protrusion of the tonsils, with severe pain with cold and heat, that's throat abscess caused by accumulated heat of the zangfu and external pathogens, with heat toxin settling in the throat. Purulent throat. If the throat is deep red and swollen with abnormal protrusion of the tonsils and persistent high fever, that means that the pus has emerged. If the throat is light red with diffuse swelling with unclear boundaries, which mitigates the pain until the pus emerges, thus there is indistinct pain, that means that the pus has not emerged. Ragged throat. If there are superficial and dispersed ulcers, that is slight heat of the lung and stomach, or deficient fire flaming upward. If there are ulcers that are flaky or hollow, that's extreme heat of the lung and stomach. If there's chronic ulcers that are red or pale in color, that's a deficiency pattern. Pseudomembrane. If the surface of the throat and ulcers are covered with a layer of yellow, white, or pale membrane, and it is loose and thick, easily cleaned off, and will not arise again after being cleaned off, that's stomach heat with mild pathogenic condition. If a gray-white pseudomembrane on the throat that is difficult to remove and bleeding appears when it is removed and it will recur, that means that's white throat or diphtheria, and heat toxin of the lung and stomach has damaged yin. Thank you so much for your attention.